Well, you said that you wanted to run back the tape before you made too much of a comment on that first half, but what did you get on second viewing of the tape on what you guys need to work on this week and correct from that performance?
The first goal, we gave up on a corner kick, which, happens. I mean, the guy, you got to give the other team credit.
Yeah.
Flacco was all over him, but our positioning in the near post space needed to be a little bit better. So that gives them the first goal. And the second and third goals were just, wasn't good enough team defense. I've been talking about how well the team has done defensively as a group, but there was, too many errors on those two plays. And again, you give them credit because they came out really aggressive, and we weren't able to match that right away. It took us 45 minutes to figure out the speed of that game. And then the last goal was the gut punch. I mean, just another set piece, the foul that we gave away. That was really a gut punch, and it was hard to get them motivated. But once we kind of got over our little, I don't want to say it like too negatively, but once we got over ourselves not playing well and we actually decided, okay, look, there's still something to play for, that was my message. And then, Ozzy and some of the other senior players in that locker room took that one step further and said, let's try and score 4. So I appreciated that coming from Ozzy. And, we got 2. Jordy's on a breakaway. I don't know if you guys watched the replay, but Jordy's on a breakaway. He doesn't see Herc over here. I mean, maybe that makes it 4-3. And then all of a sudden you have all a couple years ago, you got a barn burner. You got a couple, you got a good game. So didn't happen, didn't manifest itself. And, reviewing our team defense and reviewing set pieces, that's what I took out of the first 45 minutes.
Sure.
Coach, obviously, very different field of practice today. A lot of guys on call-ups and the international break coming up this weekend. But now that you've had time to digest, what was the mood like for the guys out there on the field today?
Fine. I mean, they're competitive guys. They'd play Wednesday if they could, just to get it out of their system, get that bad taste out of their system. We did watch film this morning, even though there was guys not here. We still watched film. We still status quo, and we'll revisit some of this game in preparation for for San Jose, just to make sure that players in that are fit for that game have an idea of what they did well and what they could have done better at.
You decided to remove Mears. You added Torres. Can you talk a little bit about why you removed Mears and what you thought about Torres' performance?
Sure. The reason why I removed Mears was because Tyrone had played 2 games at right back, and Brad played both of those games at center back. The physical demands in the way I'd like to play are much more as a right back, so I felt Evans might have a little more gas in the tank, and so that was the cause for that shift. As far as Román is concerned, he played well. You saw what he can do. I think he battled well against Adi. I think that was a good performance by him. I think he was motivated for a lot of different reasons. I mean, whatever altercation happened and the coach didn't start him against us up here, he was ready to play. So now for me, we have something that can counter Adi.
And Brad was pretty straightforward after the match, sort of admitting that now that Román was back, he expected that he would have to find a new position. Is that your stance as well? And have you had that conversation with Brad on where you sort of see him fitting going forward?
We have not had that conversation yet because it's still, Román might play 2 games in Panama, for Panama. The last game is like on that Tuesday. They don't fly back till Thursday. We got to play Saturday. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. So we certainly will start to think about it as a staff. We've started to think about it, and we'll have a better determination as to how we start against San Jose after that second international match. I think Panama only needs to win one. So, if they win the first one and they're through, then Román doesn't play, then that's a little better for us. I mean, there's lots of scenarios that I can't control. So I'm just waiting for that to make any final determinations.
For sure, and then looking a little bit farther ahead then, at least down the line, I mean, do you think Brad could still maybe play in the midfield? Do you see him maybe more of a right back going forward, or still just too early to tell?
It could be either right back or the midfield. We haven't made any final determination.
And how's the communication with Panama? Is there any push-pull there? Do you have any kind of communication with the coach or any say on it?
I do not, no. I mean, it's World Cup qualifying. They want to win. They want to get through the next stage of the hex, so I'm assuming that if the coach feels Román's ready, he's going to play.
Is there any updates in regards to Clint Dempsey's health or anything?
No updates as of today.
You had a pretty good rhythm going on, and then both the loss and the huge gap before the next game. What's going to be key about getting ready for San Jose and kind of trying to get everybody back in the groove and back in that rhythm that you had?
Well, the rhythm is the key. I think the group is determined, so I'm not concerned about the effort. But certainly, if Clint's not available, then, how do we fine-tune that group that we had in finding some rhythm to our game and finding some positive attacking play? Those are the things that we want to try and work on. The 2 goals that we scored right after halftime were combination of, yes, we came out on the front foot and stuff like that, but the goal that Jordy scores, I mean, it was good, a good little sequence. Ivanchitz kind of goes through the lines, breaks the lines a little bit, creates that opening for Nico. Nico has all the time in the world to pick Jordy out. I mean, it was a well-constructed goal. So some of those things are what we'll try and focus on.
Saw Oba made a little guest appearance at the S2 game last night. Did you get a chance to catch up with him at all?
Yeah, said hello. He's very friendly, very, seemed to be in good spirits.
What was the occasion for him being back in town?
He's on vacation. He's taking a little break. That was it. There's no, there's no other rumors. I know there was some on social media, but that's not going to happen. He's under contract, so we can't, we can't do that.
Sure.
And Chad Marshall, you mentioned he was just kind of had a little knock. He's totally fine after that.
He's totally fine.
Awesome.
Totally fine.